Subscribe to our channel for more gripping corporate tales and leadership insights. I'm a senior manager at a thriving consulting firm, overseeing a team of talented professionals. For years, I've built my career on trust, integrity, and collaboration. My closest colleague, Tom, has been by my side through countless projects. He's charismatic, sharp, and always delivers results. Everyone loves him. Clients, co-workers, even the CEO. We've worked together for over a decade, sharing victories and challenges. I considered him not just a colleague but a friend. Last month, something shifted. A major client, one I'd nurtured for years, suddenly went silent. No calls, no emails, just nothing. I brushed it off at first, thinking they were busy. But then, another client stopped responding. I started to sense something was wrong. A knot formed in my stomach. Was I losing my edge? I decided to dig deeper, starting with the first client's account. I checked our CRM system for any recent activity. To my surprise, there were updates I hadn't authorized. Meeting notes, proposals, and follow-ups, all logged by Tom. I thought maybe he was helping out, covering for me. But the notes were vague, lacking the detail I'd expect. I called the client to check in, but their assistant said they were working with someone else now. My heart sank. I asked who, but they dodged the question. I didn't press, not wanting to seem desperate. Back at the office, I noticed Tom was unusually busy. He was always on calls, stepping out for client lunches. Something felt off. I couldn't shake the suspicion. I started paying closer attention to Tom's behavior. He was still his charming self, cracking jokes in meetings. But there were subtle changes, guarded glances, quick subject changes. I asked him casually about the client I'd lost. He shrugged, saying they'd gone in another direction. His nonchalance didn't sit right. I decided to cross-check other accounts. Late at night, I pored over records in the CRM. Another client, one of our biggest, had recent activity logged by Tom. No one had told me they were reassigned. I found an email from Tom to the client, offering a better deal. My blood boiled. Was he undermining me? I needed proof. I couldn't confront Tom without solid evidence. It'd ruin our relationship if I was wrong. I reached out to a trusted colleague, Sarah, who managed IT access. I asked her to pull logs of Tom's CRM activity discreetly. She hesitated but agreed after I explained my concerns. The logs were damning. Tom had accessed dozens of my client files, downloading sensitive data. He'd been emailing clients directly, bypassing me entirely. Some emails hinted at exclusive offers from him. I felt betrayed. How could someone I trusted do this? I stayed up all night, replaying our years of friendship. The sting was real. I had to stay calm and plan my next move. The next day, I requested a meeting with our department head, Lisa. I didn't want to escalate too quickly, so I kept it vague. I told her I'd noticed irregularities in client assignments. She raised an eyebrow but listened intently. I shared the CRM logs without naming Tom directly. Lisa promised to investigate but urged me to keep it quiet. I agreed, though it killed me to stay silent. Back at my desk, Tom stopped by, all smiles. He asked about my weekend, acting like nothing was wrong. I played along, but my mind was racing. How long had this been going on? I needed to protect my clients. Time was running out. Lisa called me into her office 2 days later with a grim expression. The investigation had uncovered more than I expected. Tom hadn't just been contacting my clients, he was pitching them to a rival firm. He'd been secretly negotiating a move, taking clients with him. The evidence was overwhelming. Emails, call logs, even a draft contract. I felt sick. This wasn't just betrayal. It was sabotage. Lisa assured me the firm was taking it seriously. They were consulting legal counsel about next steps. I asked what I should do. Keep working, she said. Don't let him know we're on to him. It was easier said than done. Pretending everything was normal was torture. Tom and I had a team meeting that afternoon. He presented a new project with his usual flair. I nodded along, hiding my anger behind a forced smile. Every word he said felt like a lie. I wondered how I'd missed the signs for so long. After the meeting, I pulled Sarah aside for more details. She'd found deleted emails in Tom's trash folder, incriminating messages to the rival firm. He'd promised them key accounts for a hefty commission. My accounts. My years of hard work. I thanked Sarah and promised to keep her out of it. This was between me and Tom now. I spent the weekend strategizing. Confronting Tom directly risked tipping him off. But staying silent felt like letting him win. I decided to gather more evidence independently. I contacted a former client who'd gone quiet recently. Posing as a casual check-in, I asked how they were doing. They admitted they'd signed with another firm. Tom had convinced them. He'd claimed our company was unstable. I was livid but kept my cool. I asked for copies of his emails, which they shared reluctantly. The emails were bold, promising lower rates and better service. I had him now. This was undeniable proof. Monday morning, I met with Lisa again, armed with the new evidence. She was stunned by the extent of Tom's actions. The firm's legal team was already drafting a case against him. They suspected he'd violated his contract's non-compete clause. Lisa asked if I wanted to confront him in a mediated setting. I declined. I needed to focus on saving my remaining clients. I spent the day calling each one, reassuring them of our firm's stability. Most were surprised, unaware of Tom's lies. A few had already been swayed by him. I worked tirelessly to win them back. It was exhausting but necessary. By midweek, the firm had suspended Tom pending a full investigation. He was called into HR and escorted out. I wasn't there, but Sarah filled me in. Tom had denied everything at first, then clammed up. The evidence was too strong. I felt a mix of relief and sadness. Relief that justice was coming, sadness for the friendship lost. I wondered what drove him to this. Greed? Ambition? I'd never know. My focus shifted to repairing the damage. Clients were shaken, and trust in our team was fraying. I had to lead by example. The road ahead was tough, but I was ready. The fallout from Tom's suspension was immediate. Rumors spread like wildfire through the office. Some colleagues were shocked, others skeptical. A few even defended Tom, saying he was just ambitious. I stayed out of the gossip, focusing on my work. I met with every client personally, addressing their concerns. Most appreciated my transparency and recommitted to us. But the damage was done with a few. Losing even one client stung. I worked late nights, rebuilding trust and pitching new ideas. My team rallied behind me, which gave me strength. We were in this together now. The legal team updated me on Tom's case. He'd been formally terminated for breach of contract. The rival firm backed off once our lawyers got involved. They claimed they had no knowledge of Tom's tactics. I doubted that but had no proof. Our firm was considering a lawsuit against them anyway. Meanwhile, I was tasked with auditing all client accounts. It was tedious but revealing. Tom had targeted my highest value clients specifically. His betrayal was calculated, not impulsive. I felt foolish for trusting him so blindly. But I couldn't dwell on it. I had to move forward. Rebuilding client relationships became my obsession. I crafted personalized strategies for each account. I offered incentives, hosted virtual Q&As, and doubled down on service. Slowly, confidence returned. One client, who'd nearly left, praised my dedication. It felt good, but the scars remained. I also mentored my team, ensuring they felt supported. We held brainstorming sessions to innovate our approach. The energy in the office shifted, less tension, more unity. I realized Tom's absence was a chance to reset. His betrayal had exposed weaknesses. We were stronger for it. A month later, I got a call from a client Tom had poached. They wanted to return. Apparently, the rival firm couldn't deliver on Tom's promises. I was professional but firm in renegotiating terms. They agreed, and I felt a small victory. Other clients followed suit, citing trust in me personally. It was humbling. I'd underestimated my own reputation. The firm rewarded my efforts with a promotion to director. It came with more responsibility, but I was ready. I'd proven I could handle a crisis. Tom's actions had tested me, but I'd come out on top. The office dynamic changed after Tom's departure. People were more cautious, less open. I worked to rebuild camaraderie, organizing team-building events. Slowly, trust returned. I also implemented new safeguards in the CRM system. No one could access accounts without approval now. It was a direct response to Tom's actions. The firm adopted my suggestions company-wide. I felt proud but bittersweet. I'd lost a friend and learned a hard lesson. Blind trust was dangerous. I vowed to stay vigilant while keeping my team united. I reflected on what drove Tom to betray me. Was it jealousy? Greed? Maybe both. I'd never get a straight answer. His LinkedIn showed he'd joined a smaller firm, far from our industry. I wished him no ill but hoped he'd learned his lesson. My focus was on the future. I trained my team to spot red flags in client interactions. We became proactive, not reactive. Our client retention rate climbed higher than ever. The crisis had forced us to evolve. In a strange way, Tom's betrayal was a catalyst for growth. The firm's legal case against Tom was settled out of court. He agreed to pay damages and signed a stricter non-compete. I wasn't privy to the details, but it felt like closure. The rival firm issued a public apology, which helped our reputation. Clients respected how we'd handled the situation. I used the experience to mentor younger managers. I shared my story in leadership training sessions. It resonated. Betrayal is universal, but so is resilience. My team looked to me as an example. I didn't want to let them down. 6 months later, the firm was thriving. We'd landed 2 major clients, thanks to my team's efforts. The promotion to director gave me a broader platform. I spearheaded a new initiative to improve client transparency. It included regular audits and open communication channels. The CEO praised it as a game changer. I felt a sense of purpose I hadn't before. Tom's betrayal had shaken me, but it also woke me up. I was a better leader for it. My team was tighter, my clients happier. We were unstoppable. Looking back, I realized how much I'd grown. I'd trusted Tom blindly, but now I trusted my instincts. I'd learned to balance collaboration with caution. My relationships with clients were stronger because I'd fought for them. My team respected me for my transparency and grit. The firm saw me as a problem solver, not just a manager. I missed the old days with Tom, but not enough to forgive him. His actions had consequences, and I'd moved on. The corporate world was tough, but so was I. I was ready for whatever came next. The experience taught me about corporate justice. It's not just about punishment, it's about growth. Tom faced consequences, but I gained perspective. I learned to protect my work without losing my values. I became a leader who could weather storms. My team and clients benefited from that. The firm became a case study in handling internal betrayal. We were stronger, smarter, and more united. I took pride in that. Corporate justice wasn't just about Tom's downfall. It was about our rise. I turned betrayal into opportunity. That was my victory. A year after the incident, I was invited to speak at an industry conference. My topic was ethics in client management. I shared my story, anonymizing Tom for professionalism. The audience was captivated, asking questions about trust and recovery. I emphasized vigilance without paranoia, collaboration without naivety. It was cathartic to share. Attendees approached me afterward, sharing similar experiences. I realized betrayal was common, but overcoming it was rare. My story inspired others to stay resilient. I left the conference feeling validated. My journey mattered. Back at the firm, my new role as director kept me busy. I oversaw multiple teams now, each with unique challenges. I applied lessons from Tom's betrayal to every decision. I encouraged open communication and regular audits. My teams thrived under this approach. Client satisfaction scores hit an all-time high. The CEO credited me with turning a crisis into growth. I didn't do it alone. My team's loyalty was key. I made sure they knew it. We celebrated wins together, from new contracts to personal milestones. It felt like family. I occasionally checked Tom's LinkedIn out of curiosity. He'd bounced between jobs, never staying long. His reputation had taken a hit. I didn't gloat. It wasn't my style. Instead, I focused on my own path. I enrolled in an executive leadership program to sharpen my skills. The program pushed me to reflect on my values. Integrity came first, always. Tom's actions had tested that, but I'd stayed true. My clients and team trusted me because of it. That trust was worth more than any deal Tom had chased. The firm introduced a new ethics training module, inspired by my experience. I helped design it, focusing on real-world scenarios. We covered topics like data security, client loyalty, and conflict of interest. Employees responded well, especially younger ones. They saw the value in proactive measures. I felt proud to contribute to the firm's culture. Tom's betrayal had sparked a company-wide shift. We were more transparent, more accountable. It wasn't just about preventing another Tom, it was about building a better future. My personal life improved, too. The crisis had consumed me, but now I had balance. I spent more time with family, reconnected with old friends. Work was still demanding, but I managed stress better. I'd learned to compartmentalize without shutting down. My wife noticed the change. She said I was more present. I owed it to the lessons from that year. Tom's betrayal had forced me to grow, not just as a manager but as a person. I was grateful for that, in a strange way. It made me stronger. Clients began referring us to new prospects, citing our integrity. One referred us to a Fortune 500 company. Landing that account was a career highlight. My team worked tirelessly to secure it. We celebrated with a team dinner, toasting to our resilience. I gave a short speech, thanking them for their trust. They cheered, and I felt a lump in my throat. This was what leadership was about, building something lasting. Tom had tried to tear it down, but we'd built it back better. That was the real win. The firm's reputation grew stronger than ever. Industry blogs mentioned our turnaround story. I was interviewed for a piece on corporate ethics. I kept it professional, focusing on lessons learned. The article went viral in our niche, boosting our credibility. New talent applied to join our team, drawn by our values. I vetted them carefully, looking for integrity above all. Tom's betrayal had taught me to prioritize character. My team was now a reflection of that. We were a force, united by purpose and trust. 2 years later, I was promoted to vice president. The role came with global responsibilities. I traveled to meet international clients, sharing our story. They respected our transparency and resilience. I used Tom's betrayal as a case study in meetings. It resonated across cultures. Trust is universal. I also mentored other managers, helping them navigate challenges. My experience gave me credibility. I wasn't just a leader, I was a survivor. Tom's actions had been a dark chapter, but they'd shaped me into who I was. Looking back, I realized corporate justice wasn't about revenge. It was about accountability and growth. Tom faced consequences, but I gained wisdom. I'd turned a betrayal into a career-defining moment. My team, my clients, and my firm were stronger for it. I didn't hate Tom. I pitied him. He'd chosen a path that cost him everything. I chose differently. I chose integrity, resilience, and leadership. That choice defined me. It defined my team. It defined our success. And I'd do it all again if I had to. Today, I lead with confidence and clarity. My team trusts me, and I trust them. Our clients know we're in their corner. The firm is a leader in our industry, thanks to our collective efforts. Tom's betrayal feels like a distant memory, but its lessons stay with me. I'm vigilant but not cynical, collaborative but not naive. Corporate justice taught me to rise above betrayal. It taught me to build, not destroy. I'm proud of that. If you're facing a similar challenge, know this: you can overcome it. Stay true, stay strong, and keep leading. Thank you for listening to this story of betrayal and triumph. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of corporate resilience and leadership.